making the roadways and sidewalks accessible for all. I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Newsmakers. With me is Mayor Jerry Freed of the Township of Montclair. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me back again.
Let's talk about this concept, because this is a concept that started in Montclair, but it's really taking shape across the state.
Well, the idea is something called Complete Streets, and it's a concept that's really taken hold throughout America in many different municipalities and states and counties. And it's the idea that our roadways and our public byways should be accessible to all. So not just for automobiles, but for people using mass transit, pedestrians, cyclists, people with disabilities. So it's connected with the Americans with Disabilities Act and making the roadways available to those people. But it's really more about livability and walkability, making places that people want to come, hang out in, visit, and work.
But here in New Jersey, Montclair put a plan in place, and it was really the first plan in the state of New Jersey before the state even had a plan.
That's right. Montclair developed a Complete Streets policy, which is sort of a guidelines for developing the roadways in town. So it says things that when you do an intersection or you redo a road, you look at providing facilities so that people can cross the road safely, and that it's basically a policy document. So we adopted one as a local municipality. The state itself adopted a Complete Streets policy about 3 months later. Since then, about 20 municipalities throughout the state have developed their own policies, and it's really a way to guide the future growth of municipalities in the state.
Part of the way that you got there to work toward this policy was through partnerships. Give us an idea as to how you work to bring government, businesses, and nonprofits together in order to come up with best practices to bring people together so that this could be a more walkable, livable community.
Well, it's been, for me, a very inspiring process, and for me, I've been involved in it really for about 10 years. I started a bike and pedestrian advocacy group in Montclair, Bike Walk Montclair, in 2002. A bunch of us came together to try and make our streets more friendly for bicyclists and pedestrians. Since then, that advocacy group has joined with the municipality to try and make our streets safer, as well as with healthcare providers. Our local hospital has a foundation that has funded grants for walking clubs in our schools. We've gotten grants for Safe Routes to Schools programs, which help kids be able to get to school, and parents help their kids get to school safely, without just using cars. And the business groups in town, both the Business Improvement District we have in our Central Business District, and then the other groups in our small shopping areas near our train stations, they're all totally on board with this effort, and they've been supporting it through putting in bike racks and developing programs to make people want to walk and bike more, because it's really good for everyone. And it also saves our parking resources for people coming from out of town, so it's actually a good economic development tool, getting people to walk and bike more.
You say things like aesthetic improvements and even street festivals can make a difference.
It's really a matter of making places more appealing for people to stay and shop, not just that you're going to drive your car, go to one place, go into a store, get back in your car and drive home. So by making the streetscapes more appealing through plantings, widening the sidewalks, making the crosswalks safer, and giving people a sense that you're actually in a place rather than out on a highway. Each of those little changes makes a big difference in people's feeling about being in a place. And we all know what that feeling is like, perhaps from being at a block party or some place that we like to go on vacation, because most of us know that places that are more walkable are really the kind of appealing places people like to go and live.
We just have a short time left, but you're now working with the New Jersey Department of Transportation and the Voorhees Transportation Center to spread this concept.
That's right. 2012 will be a year of this pilot program called Ambassadors in Motion. And we're going to try and get to different municipalities throughout the state. Both me and Charles Brown, who's the director of the program, are going to be traveling throughout the state to try and help municipalities become more bike and pedestrian friendly and more livable and, frankly, more economically sustainable in the process.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
We've been talking with Mayor Jerry Freed. I'm Jill Horner.